Hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news tonight, a Manatee County road is getting some statewide recognition for all the wrong reasons. A recent study now showing Cortez Road in Bradenton is among one of the most dangerous in the state of Florida. ABC 7's Erica Jackson spoke with some traffic officials in town to tell us why there are so many crashes in that area.
You have to drive cautiously because I've seen some terrible accidents since I've been here these few weeks.
Judy Brooks just moved to Bradenton from Sarasota, and she takes her time while driving on Cortez Road every day.
I don't know if they drive a little bit more reckless or what, but I know it seemed to be more accidents.
The road is so dangerous that a recent study by Miami Stein Law Group found a 2-mile stretch of Cortez to be one of the top 10 deadliest roads in the state.
It's an area where there is not a lot of access control, so cars can make left turns wherever they want in some of those areas.
In 2015, there were 270 crashes on Cortez Road between 14th Street and 75th Street West. More than half resulted in injuries, and 4 were fatal. Figures from the Sarasota Metropolitan Planning Organization show 3 of the people killed were either bicyclists or pedestrians. MPO Executive Director David Hutchinson says the Florida Department of Transportation is trying to improve safety in the area.
They have installed some pedestrian safety islands on parts of US 41. The area along Cortez and US 41 will involve some medians that will prevent certain left turn movements. They will also install some bicycle lanes.
More than half of the fatal crashes in Sarasota and Manatee counties happen at night. Pedestrians should walk facing traffic, while bicyclists ride in the direction of traffic. And all people traveling along roadways must stay alert.
People can slow down, take a little extra time, be attentive to surroundings whether you're driving or walking.
Right now, the Florida Department of Transportation is still seeking public comment for those projects along Cortez Road and US 41. That project is expected to be underway by this time next year. Well, if you were heading along I-75 today, you might have noticed some delays after a vehicle became engulfed in flames in the northbound lanes. Take a look at this video. This was happening between River Road and Sumter Boulevard. Flames spewing from that car and causing one lane to be shut down temporarily. Luckily, the driver was able to get out of the car safely and no one was hurt. Florida Highway Patrol was cracking down on DUIs overnight, increasing patrols in Sarasota and Manatee County. The results: 4 arrests, 3 of those for driving under the influence, the 4th for driving without a valid license. 9 citations and 5 warnings were also issued as part of that wolf pack. And remember, if you ever feel threatened by another driver on the roadways, you can just dial star FHP or star 347 from any cell phone to report that driver. The search for a missing Sarasota teen continuing on Sunday. Dozens heading out to Newtown to search for 14-year-old Jabez Spann, who has been missing since September 4th. He was last seen in the area of 22nd Street in Sarasota wearing a turquoise shirt, and after nearly a month, there has been no sign of him. The group searching around Myrtle Road in Sarasota, hoping for the best while preparing for the worst.
One of the biggest things is he's been gone so long, and we want to do our part as a community of Manatee and Sarasota County, Minnesota, come together and show some love to this family to let them know that we care. And it's not only her son, it's my son, it's the community son, and we need to come together and help find him.
And while today's search did not yield any results, organizers say they aren't giving up, and they are at the very least trying to give Spann's family a little bit of support during this difficult time. Well, now let's take it over to Wendy Ross for our First Alert weather forecast. Wendy, things looking much better than I think we expected a few days ago.
Oh my goodness, really and truly, it was a beautiful day today. Lots and lots of sunshine around, and not so much in the way of high breezes today. That is going to be extended till tomorrow, and that's when we're going to see it. We've just seen a couple of showers that have been very widely isolated, and as you can see, most of those rains now moving on out into the Gulf of Mexico. So along the coastline at this point, we've just got a couple of showers showers around the Longboat Key area, Holmes Beach, Anna Maria. Those are exiting and moving on towards the west, and it's fairly quiet right now across most of Sarasota, Manatee County, down through Charlotte County as well. We may see a stray shower coming on through for later on tonight, but most of the rains that we've been getting today came on through, moved on through very, very quickly, and have pretty well just left us alone. So we have been very happy to see the kind of weather that we've been getting, especially on a weekend. It's so nice to be able to take advantage of the outdoors. And today was one of those days that you could do that. Temperatures are going to be dropping down into the mid-70s for later on tonight. We're going to see a stray cloud out there, and that's going to be about it. And so for us right now, most of the cloudy weather has pretty well dissipated. We're looking at some clouds coming in from the east coast. We still have all of this cloudiness down to our south, but it's really not affecting us too much at this point. We'll let you know what we can expect in the upcoming hours and into the beginning of the work week. That's all coming up in just a minute, Adam.
All right, thank you very much, Wendy. The Florida Keys have now reopened to visitors 3 weeks after Hurricane Irma's assault on that island chain. Local officials designating Sunday as the official return for tourists to help bring money back into the economy. Tourism-related jobs accounting for about 50% of the workforce there. Airline and cruise ship arrivals have resumed into Key West, and traffic is flowing on the Florida Keys Overseas Highway. After nearly a decade behind bars, O.J. Simpson walked out of a Nevada prison earlier this morning a free man. Now everyone wants to know, where will he go? ABC's Danya Bacchus has more from Las Vegas with the details of O.J.'s release.
Come on out. Under the dark of night.
Okay.
8 minutes after midnight, 70-year-old O.J. Simpson walked out of prison. The Nevada Department of Corrections providing this photo of Simpson signing his final paperwork for parole.
We thought, let's do this quietly and just try to be under the radar.
He was met by a driver and taken away to an unidentified location. Simpson's friend Tom Scotto texted that he was with him after his release. His release comes 9 years after a jury found him guilty in an armed robbery at a Las Vegas hotel. But Simpson's fall from grace started long before that, when the football phenom turned Hollywood celebrity was charged in the murders of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. The so-called trial of the century broadcast to millions across the country.
Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder.
Simpson was acquitted on the criminal charges, but later a jury in a civil court case found him liable for the deaths and ordered him to pay millions to the estates of Brown and Goldman.
I don't think there's any reason to think that he's going to be a decent human being into society. I think he's proved otherwise.
Come on out. Now that Simpson is free, though on parole, it's unclear what will be next. During his parole hearing, Simpson said he planned to live in Florida near his children, but the Florida Attorney General says the state does not want him there.
He is on parole. You say he's a free man, but he's not a free man in the sense that the rest of us are free.
Simpson's parole is set for 5 years, and according to his attorney, he wants to do the things that he hasn't been able to, like get together with his family, eat steak and seafood, and get an iPhone. Danya Bacchus, ABC News, Las Vegas.
And Simpson's parole is set for 5 years, according to his attorney. He wants to get together with family, eat some steak, and get an iPhone. Well, exactly 2 years ago, the cargo ship El Faro went down near the Bahamas during its attempt to navigate a hurricane. The move killing all 33 people on board and becoming the worst maritime disaster for a U.S. flagged vessel since 1983. Today, the U.S. Coast Guard releasing its final report on that accident, blaming the incident on the captain, Michael Davidson.
The master misjudged the path of Hurricane Joaquin and overestimated the vessel's heavy weather survivability, while also failing to take adequate precautions to monitor and prepare for heavy weather.
The Coast Guard is also naming other factors in that disaster, including the lack of a safety officer, a spread of duties among managers, and regulation violations for crew members working without rest. The Coast Guard says it will seek civil action against the ship's owner, Tote, but no criminal penalties. After years and years of planning and preparation, the 2017 World Rowing Championships are complete. The competition wrapping up Sunday afternoon for the 900 athletes who attended the event and the 42,000 fans who came out to cheer their teams on from around the world. Well, Well, still to come here on ABC 7, President Donald Trump's tweets continue, firing back against questions of his commitment to helping people suffering from the impact of Hurricane Maria. Plus, how the Suncoast is looking to do its part in the relief effort for the people of Puerto Rico and how you can lend a hand. That's all coming up after the break.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 1-800-468-1930. Go online or visit a Target store today.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or been diagnosed with another asbestos-related cancer, call now. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be able to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Thousands of hardworking men and women have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers put profits ahead of safety. Manufacturers knew the risks of asbestos exposure for years, but knowingly manufactured and sold deadly asbestos-containing materials, putting millions of American workers at risk. These manufacturers have tried to avoid compensating their victims, but the courts have ordered them to set aside an estimated $30 billion in trust money for the victims of asbestos. Call now to see if you're entitled to a portion of the $30 billion. You could receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or going to court.
Call 1-800-990-7362 now for a free legal consultation. Again, that's 1-800-990-7362. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Welcome back. We're going to tell you about a developing situation in Bradenton right now. 7 fire trucks on scene at the Cortez Shopping Center. One of our reporters is currently there and says it appears to have started inside Julio's Tomatoes Mexicali Border Cafe. Firefighters have evacuated that restaurant in Manatee County, and EMS is on scene. We will bring you more developments and details as they become available. In other news, the Islamic State group is claiming links to a knife attack that happened in France. French counterterrorism authorities are now investigating the attack that happened on Sunday at the main Marseille train station. That's where 2 women were stabbed to death and the assailant was shot dead by police. New controversy dogging President Trump today as he makes a stop at a golf tournament. ABC's David Wright reports critics continue to call him out on the administration's response to Puerto Rico.
As millions of American citizens in Puerto Rico struggle in the aftermath of a brutal hurricane,
people are crying.
President Trump found time to attend the President's Cup golf tournament here in New Jersey, even as he defended the federal relief effort against mounting criticism. He insisted, "We've done a great job with the almost impossible situation in Puerto Rico, outside of the fake news or politically motivated ingrades." This weekend, Trump accused the mayor of San Juan of poor leadership ability and looking for handouts The mayor now pushing back.
Calling us lazy? Seriously? You know, it's just unbecoming of the values of the American people.
11 days after the storm slammed into the island, many remote areas are in dire straits. Our team made it to this community outside San Juan. So far, no aid, no government assistance, no resources.
What did you lose here?
The bed, the food, clothes, everything. They don't have nothing.
Back in the capital, the mayor is still fighting to get more supplies.
I recognize the good heart that the FEMA people have. They want to help, but they just don't have the resources.
Do you really think the Puerto Ricans haven't been pulling their weight?
Oh, I believe the Puerto Ricans are pulling their weight. I mean, I think they're doing what they can.
The president plans to see for himself with a visit Tuesday to Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Will you meet with the president on Tuesday, and what do you want him to see?
Well, if he asks to meet with me, of course I would meet with him.
That visit may now be politically fraught. David Wright, ABC News, Branchburg, New Jersey.
And back here on the Sun Coast, more people doing their part to try and help restock a local food bank after Hurricane Irma left their shelves bare. Manatee County Publix locations and the Food Bank of Manatee County teaming up with area businesses to help stuff the bus, getting shoppers to help donate enough to fill school buses full of supplies to help feed those in need.
The past hurricane that hit Florida, we currently don't have any food at our food bank. So we're here today to collect donations and then to go inside and shop and to collect canned goods, boxed foods to put on the bus and send to the food bank.
The goal for today's drive, 125,000 pounds of food. And while the amount of food hasn't been weighed yet, today it is looking good with volunteers able to stuff 15 school buses full of food to be taken back to that food bank.
That's a lot of food.
That's a lot, yeah.
15 buses.
I don't know if you need a scale for
But
that
it's an
one.
ongoing thing.
It's quite a
isn't
bit.
it?
Yeah, I'm sure
it
it
never
is.
ends. It never ends. It's always something that's necessary and very appreciated, I know.
Absolutely. And Wendy, you did a pretty nice job of preparing us for a surprisingly lovely weekend.
We had, you know, yesterday, remember we talked about the fact that things just hadn't been quite as fierce as we thought they were going to be. In fact, they were downright nice.
Yeah.
And today was gorgeous, wasn't it? Pretty today. As a matter of fact, it's very nice right now. We've had a couple of stray showers out there, some thunderstorms that we've seen coming on through. Very widely scattered, widely isolated. So that's what we've been experiencing throughout the afternoon. Mostly we've had cloud cover to the north of us, but not so much right here along the west coast. So things have been nice and quiet for us. You can see some of this low pressure that we've had sitting on top of us is beginning to shift a little bit towards the west. So it's going to move on out here into the Gulf of Mexico. And we still have all of this cloud cover down to the south here. This is an elongated low from the Yucatan Peninsula stretching into the Gulf of Mexico, but it really hasn't produced a whole lot of precipitation for us. So what we have been seeing is the rain along the east coast. That's beginning to become a little bit more numerous, but the showers across central Florida have been dissipating as they move on into our area. And we've got high pressure that's going to be moving on in, and that's going to help to bring about some drier air for us over the next couple of days. But with that high pressure system, the gradient gets a little bit tighter, and so as a result, we're going to be seeing some stronger winds. That will be developing starting tomorrow. You'll feel that. Most of the rain that we've been seeing throughout the afternoon has shifted out here into the Gulf of Mexico, and most of the showers have been north of the Manatee and Sarasota County areas, moving on up towards the north and now moving and shifting westward. So we're seeing a couple of showers over the interior part of our state. They are just dissipating too as they move towards the west coast. So things really have been very quiet. We're not expecting a whole lot of activity for the rest of the nighttime hours. But you can see some of these scattered rains will be coming in from the east coast. They'll be moving over towards the west coast over the next couple of days. So that's where our showers are going to be developing during the afternoon hours for Monday and Tuesday. But the rain chances are going to be reduced to about a 40% chance. But you'll see that for the overnight time period by 2 o'clock in the morning, we're really not expecting to see anything for us across our area. Now today we did have some warm temperatures. Our readings did get up into the 80s. You could feel it. We're having some problems with our temperature grades. So for some reason they're not being very accurate. They're not reporting at this point. Normally we're at 88 degrees for this time of the year with 72 for the overnight low, but we're still a little bit warmer than that. We are going to be experiencing those temperatures right around that 90-degree mark for daytime highs. Temperatures currently are mostly in the 70s throughout the overnight time period. They're going to be dropping down into the 70s. Right now, they're mostly in the 80s across our region. So this is what we can expect for Monday. We're going to see our temperatures back up into the 80s as well. And this is what we're expecting to see is daytime highs getting right back up to 87 degrees at the coastline and in the interior part of the state. We're going to be seeing temperatures that are going to be a little bit warmer. And as far as the hurricane period, we're still in it, but the Atlantic is taking a bit of a break. We're just seeing some areas of cloudiness over the middle Atlantic and also across the Caribbean, but that's it. We don't have anything developing at this time. So over the next several days, this is what we can expect to see is a 40% chance of rain all the way through Wednesday. Our temperature highs right around that 90-degree mark. Adam?
Now, sports.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 1-1 through their first 2 games and down some key defensive players at home today hosting the winless Giants. And early on, it's Jameis Winston dropping back with a red zone opportunity and finding his favorite target, Mike Evans, for the game's first touchdown, becoming a common sight for this team. Later in the first, Winston on play action. He's going to air it out to a wide-open O.J. Howard, and the rookie first-rounder out of Alabama takes it 58 yards for his first NFL touchdown. Before the half, the Giants desperate to answer. Nothing downfield. Eli Manning's just going to take it himself. 14-yard run for Manning there puts the Giants on the board, and the Buccaneers actually just scored. They're up 22-17 on the Giants in the fourth quarter. The Miami Dolphins in London, England today taking on the Saints, who brought that kneel overseas with them, but this time they did it before the national anthem like a number of teams throughout the NFL. Miami taking it down to the Saints 4 in their opening drive, but Jay Cutler rushing that throw to Julius Thomas. He is picked off. Third quarter, Saints showing some better poise on first and goal inside the 5. Drew Brees finding Michael Thomas for the first touchdown of the game. New Orleans would score another and shut out the Dolphins 20-0 in Miami, Miami has scored just 6 points in their last 2 games, and that's not good enough, according to their signal caller.
It was frustrating. I think we're all on offense a little humbled, a little embarrassed. Two games like that, and we feel like we're better.
Miami will finally have their home opener next week when they host the Tennessee Titans. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful.
That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled, and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded, so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's at FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights. Attention! If you had surgery to repair a hernia, listen closely. Ethicon has recalled its PhysioMesh flexible composite mesh after 2 studies showed higher rates of hernias reopening and additional surgeries compared to other meshes. This product may cause severe health problems, including pain, swelling, bowel obstructions, infections, mesh failure, hernia recurrence, and other health issues. If you or a loved one had hernia repair surgery in 2006 or later and suffered complications that required additional surgery, you may be entitled to compensation. Even if you're unsure if PhysioMesh or another brand was used in your surgery, you may still be eligible for compensation.
Call Sokolov Law now at 1-800-273-7215 for a free legal consultation. That's 1-800-273-7215. Again, that's 1-800-273-7215. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
A representative of Marilyn Manson says the singer was injured during a mishap on stage in the middle of a New York City performance and then taken to the hospital on Saturday. Manson was performing his cover of the Eurythmics' Sweet Dreams Are Made of This when he began to climb a podium, causing it to wobble. Manson then fell backward and the prop fell on top of him. Soon, the house and the stage lights went out for several minutes and then came back on with an announcer saying that the show was over due to injury. It was not immediately clear whether any of Manson's concert dates will be postponed because of that incident. Those are always odd situations if you're in the crowd of those concerts because you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
The lights go off and then that's it. And especially a
that's kinda
Marilyn
scary,
Manson
isn't it?
concert. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
those are pretty intense. You don't know what's happening. But what was not intense, the weather this weekend.
The weather was fantastic.
On the contrary.
I mean, it was really nice, and we were
lovely.
expecting to see much worse conditions, so this was actually quite nice to have that as a lovely way of getting outside and enjoying the weather because it really was great. Breezy conditions for tomorrow with just a 40% chance of rain in the forecast.
Breeze.
Yes.
What's that like?
Huh,
Kind of
we're gonna
forgot
find
what
out.
those felt like.
It won't be a cool breeze, I do want to point
Oh,
out.
no.
No.